Are you ready, Gail?
Oh, it's all about her now?
I'm sorry, you know, I told you to videotape that fly swatter incident.
Just a minute.
Just me. Just me. Is it ready yet? Just me.
I bought another one of these because that other one didn't work, and now this one's.
It's possessed.
And I
Spirits.
even tested it today.
Neighborhood watch next Monday? Huh?
It's the 19th, I think it is.
Are you sure?
Nope, I look at the calendar. I'll tell you for sure, if you really want to know.
Do you put that over?
Do I want to do what?
Put that in front of me, please.
Not me. I'll put it over here. Baby cakes, right there.
19th, Jerry.
19th?
Okay, welcome to the Town Board regular meeting, Tuesday, September 6, 2022 at 6 p.m. I do want to remind everybody that we do run the meetings classroom style. You will be, unless you're on the agenda item itself, so we can get through our agendas, we will have board discussion on items, and unless you have a direct agenda item, we may not call on you for discussion, so we can further move through the agenda more quickly. So we appreciate your patience on that. And with that, roll call. Hendrickson.
Here.
Holsworth here. Kramer.
Here.
Schumacher.
Here.
Thomason.
Here.
Appreciate the full house tonight here. And please all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all. With that being said, is there any changes from the board? If not, how about finance officer?
No.
Okay, motion to accept the agenda is read. Hendrickson makes the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Schumacher. No further discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next item is the consent calendar. We have August 2nd minutes that were under discussion last meeting that they felt it should be read the same with Robert's rules and what has been stated in Robert's rules. I would like to leave the minutes as read.
In the new revised or in the old?
The old.
I
For
feel
Robert's
that's
rules.
way too much editing, because there was, I think the biggest problem is the discussion, what the subject of the discussion was. We went through this before. It was minimized, then it was maximized, and then it was kind of a select issue. I think it's fine the way it is, at least in my opinion.
As amended. Yes.
As it amended, as it has been amended.
So a motion was made, but no second.
To leave it as is?
Correct.
Leave it as is, yes.
As what per Robert's rules. Robert's rules read.
No, I was talking about the amended, back to the original, not having been edited.
Oh.
My motion is to leave them as the original, which was not edited.
Second?
Okay, we have a second on that. As Robert's rules reads, I just had to, that in the minutes, it isn't as what is said, it is what is acted on. it's part of keeping the personalities out of the minutes.
Okay, I have another question then. If personalities are an issue, what qualifies as personality? I don't believe that a person's name qualifies as a personality issue. If you are naming a person because you have something to say about them, why is that a personality? It's simply a name. If you said, is a horrible person, then you're talking personality.
Thank you. So the minutes should contain a record of what is done, not what is said. Minutes do not contain interjected personal comments or someone's opinion about what has happened. The assembly is responsible for approving and connecting the minutes.
Mr. Hague?
Yeah, that is accurate. Now, the minutes that you're talking about from last time were amended by the board,
Asked to be amended.
asked to be amended, okay? And is there a motion to that effect?
Right now, there's a motion and second that they be amended back to the original, but that's where I had said with the editing that I had put in there with the citizen input and trustee input was to take away from the personal attacks or situations in that effect and what is done.
Was the amendment that the motion seeks to reverse passed, that those amendments were passed by the board, correct? Or not?
Go back to the original writing of the minutes.
Do you not have that minutes?
I'm sorry?
He probably has the amended minutes. I didn't put there's a little bit of confusion here. Can I help?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Okay,
This is what we had originally on it, and then I had taken out the crossed outline stuff and just put in the abbreviated on it.
Just wanted the president.
This was changed up here under citizens, and this was changed under trustee input on the minutes that were presented to the board.
Oh, okay.
And then the motion was not approved, and that we delayed the motion until the next meeting to come back and then approve the minutes. Now, at this meeting, they're asking that they go back to these original statements, and I'm asking for Robert's rules that they go back to this description.
It's what is passed, and what you articulated was that whatever is passed as the official record by the board is what shall be considered the official minutes.
Correct.
Okay? So, if what I'm understanding is that
These haven't been passed yet.
these haven't been passed, and in either form,
Correct.
okay? So,
They're asking that they go back to their original form with their motion right now.
okay,
And I'm asking in Robert's rules to follow the Robert's rules of order and not to.
okay. But the whole point is that they are going to be
Correct.
voting on which one they want.
Correct.
Then that's what you do.
Correct. Exactly.
So if there's a motion on the floor as to a particular rendition, then that should be just, it's first and seconded and should be discussed. If it fails, it fails. If it passes, it passes. Whichever, if it passes, obviously that is the official recordation.
Correct.
So right now you have a motion on the floor. You have a second.
Correct.
And the motion is to leave it as it appears there.
Correct.
Okay.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
Nay.
Okay, motion passes. We'll leave them as was. Okay, next item is then minutes of August 16th, 2022, regular meeting minutes, to approve them. I'll make that motion.
Second.
Second by Schumacher. Any further discussion from the board? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
What's that?
I missed those.
Well, that's
Pardon?
right here. The environment also.
Right, item B, approval to amendment, June 7th, 2022. Oh, the August 11th, correct. Special meeting ones.
Right.
Motion for them.
I'll make that motion.
Kramer makes the motion, do I have a second? Second by Thomason. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign. Motion carried. And item B is the approval to amend June 7th, 2022 minutes. Before we approve that, I'll let Boddicker explain why and what we're doing.
Okay, thank you. So in the June 7th, 2022 minutes, under planning and zoning, and it wasn't from planning and zoning, but it was from the Board of Trustees minutes meeting, I said motion made and seconded to approve 2022-19 subdivision preliminary plat application, tract 2A and B, and that would be Preston's, and it was actually not a preliminary plat. And with the staff report, it was okay to bring it in as a final and a preliminary. So when we were going to sign the Mylar, I noticed that the minutes had said preliminary only, and the Mylar wouldn't have been correct because it said preliminary in my minutes.
Okay.
So what the auditor's office asked us to do is to amend those minutes, and we put in this per staff report, and because the staff report highlights that it can be brought in as a preliminary and a final. And what that was it was just a small little piece of property that does not have any infrastructure on it or anything like that. It was just given from Preston's to the Shorb family, and no infrastructure, no building on there, and so there's nothing there. It's just, so we needed to amend those minutes to make sure that it's per staff report, and we were told to read all of it into the motion.
So if you will, please.
Okay, so the motion made on the June 7th meeting was motion made and seconded to approve permit 2022-19 subdivision preliminary plat application parcel 000207 tract 2A and 2B, and then the motion carried. And it was citizen requested to bring back the Mylar for approval with the citizen responsible for filing the Mylar at the county. So now the new minutes, which we're amending tonight for June 7th, are motion made and seconded to approve permit 2022-19 subdivision plat application parcel 00207 tract 2A and 2B per staff report.
So maybe add, if I'm understanding correctly, maybe add in there, motion to approve preliminary and final plat.
Okay,
Per staff report.
okay.
If that's indicative of or represents what actually happened.
It is.
Yeah.
So you'll need a vote to amend those minutes.
So that's how it will read then with preliminary and final per staff report, and motion to approve the amendment.
Second.
Motion by Thomason, second by Hendrickson. No further discussion
You have a
within.
question?
Is this for the short track?
Correct.
Yes,
Okay. Doesn't have anything to do with PFI?
No.
no,
All right.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you. That being said, on the agenda, is there any items of conflict of interest of declaration within the board members? If not, we'll move ahead. Your next item of 5 is claims. Review the payroll and claims. Any questions? If not, motion to approve.
I'll make that.
Hendrickson makes the motion, second by Kramer. Further discussion within the board. There being none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you, board. Next item 6, law enforcement, abatements, complaints. Item, we appreciate the attendance tonight, as you have in front of you the logs of it. Any committee report from you tonight?
Is there any questions you had from?
From your staff report here? Anybody have questions on this or on any of the calls or anything on Custer County log, I should say?
The runaway was in our area?
Yeah, it's me. You're terrible. So we printed out the copies of our agreement, I guess, today. I was wondering if I can get 2 printed copies of the city ordinances.
Okay,
You guys, one for here and one for the Custer office.
see, they're all online too.
It'd be easier to have printed though for us, because then we have it in hand, because sometimes it's hard for me to find some of them ordinances online.
I can do that.
Okay. Can I talk about a couple other things? Okay, go on here.
Yep,
There's 2 stop signs that I'd like to get repainted if you can.
what was, I'm sorry.
2 stop signs that I'd like you to get repainted if you can. On 2nd and Villas, and then by the school, the big one. At night, sometimes they're kind of hard to see.
Okay, 2nd and Vilas and,
And 5th. The big one, not the school one, the big one.
okay,
And then there's that tree for that alley that I told you about. Did I need to bring that up here?
with the tree branches.
Yep,
Yep.
but I can't get through the alley, so if there's something, I can't get through it. And then the guardrail on North 2nd. And I have the bushes pulled in front of that, because you can't even see it's a guardrail.
Yeah, I see the weeds, basically, is what's growing up in there. And I did drive down that alley where we're at, which is behind Mills up here. And the elm tree, it actually comes down in the back of Linda's property here. And is what needs to be cut, but there's several others, and that is on the agenda to discuss tonight and go through and have that discussion on that. So I do appreciate that. And then, as you're doing your patrols, if, like you're seeing with the signs that need to be addressed, anything else that you're seeing out there that we need to bring more attention to?
When I find them, I can bring them up. It's just that one right here with like no lights or like dim lights. I can't even tell it's a stop sign. So I mean, if someone ran it, I probably wouldn't pull them over.
Yep,
So
yep.
that's
So-
just the 2 that I've seen so far, the tree and then the guardrail that you can't see as a guardrail.
What we'll do is make a note of that, and then we'll have Mr. Ferguson address them. I don't know, do you have more stop signs?
I think so, I'm not positive.
Yeah, I thought we had 1, maybe 2. There was
As
an
long as
out-
that one gets replaced first, that one's worse than the other one. That
Okay.
one kind of by the fire department. They're both headed west,
Okay,
so those are the ones that,
so, yeah, make notes of that, please, Gail, for them. And there was an outfit in Box Elder that was advertising, they had 20+ stop signs in it.
Saw claimed they weren't stolen.
Don't know.
Oh, wow.
But I was gonna ask and inquire about them. I thought they only were 10 to 20 bucks a piece, so if they're in any good shape at all, they'd be pretty good all the way around.
and then another thing, who put up the speed limit double signs down Ferguson?
Mr. Ferguson.
Is that a city?
No,
No, okay, I just needed to know for ticketing wise.
during the construction.
Yep.
And they don't work.
They don't work. I live down there.
When I drive down there, it works.
Yeah,
I can tell you, it does not work.
Yeah, and I try to drive down there at least once, twice a day, whenever I'm.
5 o'clock, that back road,
The Whitney one or
Please.
the?
yep.
Raise
Oh,
your
I'm
hand,
sorry.
please, on classroom style, I thank you, so we
My
can
bad.
get through. But
Yeah.
on them signs, as far as that goes, and on the ordinances, and as far as that reflection, and having them into that portion of it. We've noticed that on our work session, for like P and Z, like we mentioned, the no parking signs on Ferguson Street, as far as being able to enforce that $25 ticket limit, well, we don't have an ordinance to back that up, so we need to put an ordinance together for that. If we want the fines to double in Ferguson Street, then we need to look at that. If we want to look at some of the school zone areas where the fines would double or something.
School sign, as long as they're blinking, it's 15. So that's already state statute mandatory doubled.
Yeah.
So that, you don't have to do that one.
So if you see any other areas that you question about enforceability of signs that are posted there, that would be very helpful to where we can, if we're gonna redo an ordinance, we can do it all at one time.
And those would just be the two, the parking on the side, like you said, down Ferguson, and then the signs he had put up.
So we'll look as a committee then, as we do a work session at that, and then review and then the ordinance, and then put an ordinance together, so it's enforceable for you.
Yep. And then I caught those people that went by your place. They were just taking a picture of each other. They stood outside the car and took a picture. So I
Yeah, it
found
was
that.
kind of weird. Here it is dark out, and there's people taking pictures up away, and my granddaughter's standing right there. And it's like, really? So
I found them.
I appreciate that greatly, and looking into it. And it's just weird timing, because you were just coming on, they were right there. I was outside looking and investigating to see what it was. Then they took off really quick, and it was very suspicious, so it's like, okay. So,
Yeah.
we do have our neighborhood watch meeting, Joan.
The 19th, moved it to the 19th because of the holiday.
Is that in here then?
In the
Downstairs.
basement. So we come around the alley,
Oh, okay.
and in the alley is when the neighborhood watch, and we would really appreciate attendance there,
What time is that at?
6 o'clock.
Okay, same thing. I wrote that down. Anything else?
Yes, ma'am.
And on the neighborhood watch, all new people have to bring cookies first.
Good thing I'm not a new person.
You will be at the meeting, honey.
Okay, Mr. Hagan.
Yeah, Deputy Allen, first of all, thank you for your service.
Thank you.
You do. And I think you probably already answered my question, but whenever there is a violation of a city ordinance, whether it's a speed limit or whatever it might be, you charge that out under the city's?
Depends, are you guys gonna provide us with citations?
Okay. I would think that would be a good idea, because when you charge it out, the fine money goes to the city. And if not, it goes to the county,
State.
if it's charged out under state. So you might as well take them to look at your city ordinances
Yeah,
and then require that any violation of those ordinances be charged out inside the city, and that's be charged out in the city.
And usually it's a separate citation than the state one for those. They might, I don't know, we'd have to get a hold of Marty to see if the city would be able to be under our state one as well. And then just cross off customer for Hermosa. But you gotta get a hold of Marty, I don't know exactly for that. But yeah, if it's charged under city ordinance, it goes to the city, but then you also have to remember, if someone fights it, it's the city attorney that has to defend it.
That's true. Somebody can test it, then it's.
and that's something where we'll look into what Mr. Daggett left down in the basement, because we have that area still. That was the marshal's office with the evidence room down there to lock everything up, to the desk, to what computers he had, and then he had tickets and stationery and all of that. So it might be something that might be helpful for you on that side of it too.
Yeah, as long as they're updated and sufficient enough for you guys, I guess, and Marty.
Yep, appreciate it.
When I used to,
Gail, do you check into what Jim has?
Mhm.
Thank you.
when I used to be city attorney years ago, when there was somebody that did contest a city ordinance violation, oftentimes, very seldom did I actually ever end up having to go to court, because I would call the person ahead of time and say, you understand what you're charged with and so forth, and they'll visit about it. And it's within the prosecutorial discretion, if it's not egregious, if they were disrespectful to the officer or anything like that. But, or let's say it's a teenager whose insurance is gonna go through the roof because there's a violation or something. Oftentimes I would offer a deferred prosecution, where they keep their nose clean for a period of 6 months, and then the ticket doesn't get prosecuted. But they pay the fine up front, period. So it gives them a chance, but the city gets the revenue. Or you don't pay me or Mitch or anybody else to go to court for you.
Right.
So they can be addressed in ways where it's a benefit to the town. And the person and the defendant,
Yep, great point.
if appropriate.
Anything further from the board? Thank you, appreciate you being here tonight.
You're welcome.
And appreciate your residency here. Thank you.
Makes it easier.
You and your husband, and we welcome your family here.
Thanks.
Thank you. We have abatements, properties, and the dumpster issue. Abatements, you're doing your next follow-up then?
Abatements have been followed up. However, with office staff being gone on vacation, we'll take a week or two off to, well, that there's not enough time to go through and do the paperwork. Dale's already busy enough, so.
But can you at least do your drive-by and make sure it's the ones
The
that are
ones that have,
satisfied and
yeah,
then
yeah.
update?
Mhm.
That way then there's not as much confusion on that side of it,
Yep.
would be appreciated.
Absolutely.
So we appreciate that part of it,
The
and
town is looking much better.
yes, great efforts all the way
Yes.
around, so.
Very nice.
As far as the dumpsters, I had comments and discussions with several residents, and I would rather leave them as we are in presence and be more closely monitored. I think it's a great use to the community and for our seniors. And they're the ones that were the most vocal and the most vibrant about the use of them. You know, and as long as I'm donating my time to keep them pushed down and cleaned up, that's the biggest thing, and if we keep the monitoring going, and everybody keep their eyes open. If they see somebody violating it, it's taking away from the citizens in the community. So I think it's a great advantage to be able to utilize and keep that and watch for them users that shouldn't be. Okay, anything further from the board? You have a question?
If somebody is violating that, do you call like,
The town office,
Yep,
okay, I didn't know if it was like a.
Take pictures.
take pictures.
license plate number, I mean, that's, everything would be very appreciated. Okay, anything further under law enforcement abatements? Mr. Hay, you're good?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Legal, anything under that, sir?
Yes, I met with board member Thomason last week and reviewed a series of complaints that have been lodged against various individuals on the board and the city engineer. And Mr. Thomason gave me his findings. He reviewed each one of them, looked into it, looked at video or other evidence or materials that were available to determine the veracity or the accuracy. And so those, especially, there are one or two that involve complaints against the city engineer. And but because of the sensitive nature of some of this stuff, I would like a short executive session to be able to give you our preliminary findings, being board member Thomason, and then after that come out and explain why, what, where, who, and to the extent we can, as far as if it's a personnel issue or something like that, like the city engineer. So I would request that at the appropriate time, if there's business to get done that can be disposed of, so people aren't having to wait into the heat and
Right.
lengthiness, you know, that's something I would also recommend.
Thank you. We will take that under advisement and act on that accordingly to what legal recommends then. So, next item is number 8, engineer. We have the water rehab project, the WRT system, of course, is due to the October-November timeframe. I did talk to ACES today to get a staff report from her on items and subjects in this. the item B, Hermosa sidewalk project. Logan, you have a comment in here, and I believe he's totally correct in letting that go out to bid. I recommend that. And in that situation, a motion to allow so. It's just affirmative. He's had motion to move ahead with the project. He's had motion to split the project into 2 phases, and so he's done all of that. So now we're going to do likewise with allowing him in this revised version. So Kramer makes that. Do I have a second? I'll second it. Any further discussion?
What was the motion to,
Just to allow Logan, Grand Logan, to go ahead and put it out for bid.
okay,
And then with the coverage of what he had in here for the bid letting,
okay.
there was that discrepancy of $900.
Mhm.
And he didn't feel that was gonna be a project breaker on
Okay.
that situation.
Right.
So I appreciate that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. The sewer project lagoon expansion is going to be reviewed, starting. It'll of course involve board and public works opinions on it as we go into final stages of that. There will be some other creative portions of it also that I'll mention further down. Item D is the water sewer facilities plans, resolution reviews and so on. We've acted on the lagoon portion of it so far. Of course, water sewer we're waiting on that portion of it, and that also comes further into it. The town of Hermosa water sewer extension project has been submitted, so we're just in hurry up and wait stages of that one. Hermosa Hills drainage, we got pictures today of that as it was reviewed on what needs to be done yet, and for anybody that needs to look at them, and then I can leave these with Mr. Preston too on items that'll have to be fixed and repaired. Did you get them? Okay, good. So for anybody else that needs to look at them, and then she's copied in what needs to be repaired. It was asked that she go down and look so we could approve the final on Hermosa Hills drainage and what needs to be taken care of. So that's where we're at on that segment of it and what needs to be reviewed and taken care of. So she will not approve the finalization of that yet until this hit list of items is taken care of. The Whitney Street drainage, which also is the South Dakota Rural Water Report. We're had Mike out here, I'll do a little report for Mr. Ferguson so he doesn't have to re-report. Went through and they found some items, a valve that needed to be repaired, which they worked on and repaired. Items down in the pump house that he was going to go through and check with meter technology to see about the calibration of the meter, to see if we can make sure we're okay on that. He's also checking on the relocation of the meter, or if that's going to be necessary through meter technologies. He did repair the valve so that we are ready for that. We're going to be noticed today that was signed for the Midco divers to come down and investigate the tank. Did they give you a time frame on that today?
She said not till mid to late next week.
Okay, is when they will come down and then test that tank and make sure that we got everything in process on that to get that leak found, because there is a small leak in the old tank up there that Mike found. So we're gonna have them come in. If they find it, then they will take and epoxy it and take care of it then. Any silt or any other problems that need to be done, they would do that cleaning also and inspect both of them. So that way it's taken care of. There will be recommendations that Mr. Ferguson's aware of, that tanks will have to be full before they can do that, and their normal access and being able to handle everything that they'll be doing on that portion of it. So if we get that done, then Mike will come back down, retest again. He still needs to flow test all the fire hydrants, which we need to do that very soon. We've got too much on the development side of it that needs to look at that. as well as our own purposes that need to look at that and exercising, and then whatever other punch list we'll have on that. So we'll have that, and then a little bit later down in the agenda, we have a couple other items that we need to approve that we'll approve at that time for testing that segment of it also. The Fifth Street repair discussion, that is basically gonna be an item that I'm gonna end up taking care of, where the garbage truck has already broken it up. I will take millings over there, resurface that, take a little bit of that spalding off, and then situate it out from there to where I'll try to build it back up with some more millings and see if we can satisfy that, situate it a little bit. Roy's Drive-In sewer line, we have a response that came from him, and a letter that we'll discuss, some of which kind of goes into the legal aspects of it, so we will discuss some of that in executive session and what took place on it. And then we have a couple other items that are executive session items too that we'll discuss from the other attorneys. So we'll go over that issue and then come back out with our response to that one also. The facility plan for the booster water meters, possibly to add to the USDA. We talked about that today. USDA has expressed, and which is going to be a portion of it on the P&Z side of it, that we're going to need to probably ask for help on, as well as maybe a couple board members. They want to know about the annexation of Fairgrounds Place Road, Gumbo Lily, and if we're going to be doing that or following through with that annexation, because of course in the facility plans right now, there's infrastructure involvements in that original facility plan to deal with what we've got in that infrastructure. Now, if it were to be as what we expressed at the last meeting, that we're going to downsize the Fairgrounds Place and we're gonna have to go back to the drawing board on some of that, I'm thinking that whether we do it on a work session or a P&Z session, it needs to be something that happens very soon. And in that, if Fairgrounds Place, as we said, we don't have a majority to go voluntary, and we're taking the Legion out of it, we're taking the Catholic Church out of it, we're taking the ag land out of it. Will leave us Fairgrounds Place Road, and then what's at the end of McDermott, and the two properties there. If we don't get a majority, then we move forward to Gumbo Lily. And in that study of what we need to do, we've received from ACES for the third time, fourth time from Custer County, what they believe to be now the right legals, the right taxes, the right mill levy. So we'll sort them out per property. Then contact per property what they're going to be looking at for their taxes, for their mill levy, for whatever. And then we will ask them verbally, are they involved still, where yes or no. If we don't have a majority on Gumbo Lily, then we'll back away from that infrastructure program also, bringing water sewer to each one of their doorsteps for no cost. And then that would change that USDA application to where we would apply the monies from that infrastructure into our booster, into our meters, if Gumbo Lily and 79 don't want to come into the annexation. So that's why they're kind of now at a point with USDA that they're, number one, they're looking for a new staff member of an engineer to review all of this. So they're kind of in a little bit of a hold mode. They're getting the application all put together and all the specs, and they're feeling they're going to hire an engineer within the next couple of weeks. They've got a lot of apps. So with that review of that, then that will give us more of an inkling. That's why the annexation questions are so important. Once we go in October, November to secure the WRT, that will be another one. If something were to happen where we had a hiccup on that side of it, that would also take care of that portion of it. So then that would be able to be added to the USDA application also. So there's a lot of tools to all of this equation. And that's why the annexation is kind of the most important part. I'm hoping that people on Gumbo Lily and 79 will still be in favor, and we'll have a majority for voluntary annexation. I think it's a great benefit for them, but
So we need to have a meeting then?
I believe with P and Z, we need to sit down soon to go through that.
27th work? Joan? Joan, would the 27th work, you think, for a meeting together with the board and P and Z?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so that'll
Does
be
that
it.
work for everybody else here?
As far as I know.
Excellent. That'll give us a good session. This is something that I do not want to put just on Gail and Jill. This needs to be an interaction of the board and the board to carry these interactions out. Okay? So that was a lot. I'm sorry, but there was a lot involved in that part of it, so. Okay, with that being said, that'll be it for the engineer. Number 9 is planning and zoning. You have item A is August 23rd, 2022 minutes that are in front of you. And assuming everybody has had a chance to review them. And I do have to say thank you, Gail, for always getting the packets put together and out early enough for the board. And the detail that you put them together with you and Jill, thank you.
Thank you.
Item B is the permit 2021-24, the floodplain development permit for 205 2nd Street, storage shed replacement deck and future 30 by 40. As you see in the staff report, the only thing that was approved was the placement of the 10 by 14 shed. They recommended that the rest of it had to come back with another, basically whole application and be able to do the floodplain development permit and set everything up. So I would need a motion only to approve the 10 by 14 and that they have to come back for an application and renew and go back through P and Z and all the rest.
I'll make that motion.
Hendrickson makes the motion, second by Thomason. Further discussion? There being none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried, thank you, Bruce. The next item C is the 2022-26 digging, grading, and subdivision preliminary plat, Lone Coyote subdivision. Once again, this was approved for the preliminary plat only. Motion made and approved following all the engineer's recommendations is what I'm asking for, a recommendation and motion on this.
I'll make that motion.
Kramer makes the motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Schumach. Any further discussion? There being none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you. Next item is the item D, 2022-27, digging, grading, residential building permit, lot 6, North Wilder Boulevard. This one again was updated site plan presented at the meeting where Mr. Hunhatsacker, where the 2 decks and driveway are located and verified, would be, the driveway would be cement. So this one, the motion was made where the 2 decks and driveway are all approved and the permit approved. Also, once again, for staff report.
Make that.
Hendrickson makes the motion, do I have a second? Second. Second by Thomason. Further discussion? Being none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next item is the permit 2022-28 floodplain development, Custer County Fairgrounds, install a 5-bar continuous fence. On this also, motion was made and approved the permit. They waived the floodplain development fee of $100 and waived the permit fee of itself. The only thing that was left was the engineer's fee, and that was a motion and seconded. I have been made aware of that the engineer is also going to waive the fee, so all fees would be waived on this permit. So I need a motion to approve per that.
I'll make that.
Hendrickson makes it, Thomason seconds it. Further discussion? There being none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Just a quick question, so we're good to go forward with the project?
Yep, you can come in and get any information that you need, if you need anything from Gail, but no permits are needed to write or anything else, so you're ready.
Okay, sounds good, sounds like next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next item is item F, the temporary sign permit application for the American Legion Post 243. That once again was also approved. Motion to approve.
Make that.
Hendrickson makes the motion, Thomason seconds the motion. Further discussion? Being none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item G was that new address request for parcel number 011123. And of course, the motion on that was made and approved on that also. Motion by Thomason, approved, second by Schumach. Further discussion? That being none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. I would like a motion to remove everything off of that agenda, A through G. Thomason makes the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Schumach. Further discussion? There being none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you, board. Public Works, we'll try to keep this to as quickly as we can on anything on the committee report.
I have been, spent quite a little bit of time with Chuck and Chuck on both the valve project and down below, meter down below, and turning on water and turning off water and checking meters. And Chuck and Chuck have worked hard this last couple of weeks, putting things together. And as you gave the report, with all the valves and everything, we're moving. It'd be good to have the divers here and get that situation done. What else you got, Chuck?
On streets, 5th Street, that extra P-rock has got to be removed from that sidewalk. Every year it's just a mess. When the cloud of snow and it winds up in people's yards, and it's got to be cleaned up. Street lights, they are still putting some stuff together on the ones that are out. Most of them are all cow lights. There's none of the big street lights that are out that I'm aware of. Has anybody seen any? We do have one or two in stock for those. REA has to come down, like I mentioned before, to disconnect those PAL lights in the main transformers. There's no disconnects for those. So some of those wires have been cut during the boring and whatever else is wrong, but it's a mess. But we're just have to address them one at a time and get them fixed. On the valve that she reported on, I talked to them again this morning, and the rural or area rep for Mueller is working with Northwest Pipe to get those parts.
Yep.
However long it takes to get them. I mean,
Correct.
it's a better alternative than replacing the valve.
Correct.
That valve is $2,700 our cost.
Correct.
For an 8-inch gate valve. So, you know, to buy a new one and then pull the guts out of that and put in this one's kind of redundant. So we're waiting on parts. The other part of water, the old well, that pump is not performing. So we pulled it, took it in, had a bench test, and we're using as a free flow, and that doesn't work. That pump's putting out about 25 gallons a minute, and it's rated at 60 to 100 gallons a minute. On a bench test, it put out about 85 gallons a minute. And the reason for that being, open discharge, there's no head against that pump. So we have to create some kind of a restriction to, it's similar to a garden hose. It's just dumping, put your thumb over the end, and it'll shoot from the wall, and that's what's going on with this pump. There is no restriction against it, no head to make it work harder. On the bench test, it put out good gallons per minute. So
That was Sean that did that one from Farmers.
yeah,
Yeah, he was telling me about
Gary
it.
actually
Yeah.
did it, but so
Okay,
name that tune. The reconstruction of the piping inside the well house. Now, one of the recommendations that Meter Tech came with was the distance prior in the horizontal plumbing, the distance prior to the meter and after the meter. There has to be a minimum of 18 inches in front of the meter and like 38 inches after the meter. So we'll have to shut it down, disassemble all that stuff, and move that meter from its current spot to a different spot. What happens is anytime we've got a Y screen in front of it, and that creates a turbulence in the water. So they believe that this turbulence is affecting the performance of the turbine meter. The water is actually boiling and churning before it goes through the meter, which is affecting that.
correct.
So we need to pull all that apart and replumb that and get the distances correct that we need before and after the meter.
When will you be doing that?
Hopefully next week.
Okay, good. Appreciate that. Anything further?
Not on water. We did run the well on the hill again temporarily, and still getting some discolor there when it sets for a period of time. We did, on the last time we ran that, we did prove that they can run Siamese together, both pumps, and not affect the production. And
Okay,
Mikey's coming tomorrow, 9 o'clock, to do the flow test.
good.
And I've got the contract in my hand for Midco. They're only looking at the big tank. And that's where the possible leak is. You indicated earlier there was a small tank. It is not, it's a larger tank.
Well, we want to do both tanks
That
in
he
service
suspects is leaking.
while they were here.
We had inspections done 18 months ago. This time's $3,650
Right.
to do the large tank. If we want to go ahead and do the small one also, we can do that again. It was done 18 months ago. We usually go on a 3-year cycle. So I don't know.
Had a lot of sludge.
I'm guessing they're gonna want another couple grand to go into that little tank.
Might as well, yeah.
They're here.
Well, and that's why I say the inspection site needs to happen. That's what we talked about on it, so.
Do we need a motion in that?
I have a contract here. They'll probably amend that and email it back if that's what we want to do is.
Well, we had to get them initiated. We've signed the contract, sent it off because of the leak. It was a maintenance thing that had to be done now, so that's what's been taken care of, and then we can always amend to and let them know time frame that they can make that time
We
frame
haven't
work.
sent it back, and we, did you?
Yes, ma'am.
So we had to send it back because she wouldn't give me any kind of a time frame at all of when they could
I
come
know,
out.
we have to commit to the contract,
Mhm.
so.
So we committed to the contract because of it being what we needed to do. But we don't have the old tank on there, on that contract.
No,
No,
So is
That's why
that gonna
we'll
push
ask.
us back further?
we'll ask for
probably
another.
not. I mean, when they're here, they can do it.
Okay,
It's just, they want to spell out, this contract is way different than what we've done before. More detailed and,
So you can email them tomorrow.
Oh, I was just gonna say, are you gonna call them and ask them for an amendment, or do you
I'd
want?
rather have a paper trail and have you email her in the morning, and that way we've got it all documented.
Okay,
Further, Mr. Ferguson.
lagoon looks good. Got some discolored Grande, which is normal. And, it's holding its own.
Okay,
So everything looks good there. We need to get down and get it mowed. We've got an awful lot of kochia down there. We sprayed everything earlier. Sometimes it takes quite a period of time for that to work on that kochia. It looks like, I know the time before when we sprayed it, it was 3-4 weeks before it even started to look like it was doing anything, but as time went on, it did do the job, so we're gonna end up with a lot of tumbleweeds. Hopefully this year we can burn that.
right,
To, get rid of all that excess.
that would be good. Anything further?
The fluoride, I talked to Hawkins Chemical, and that stuff is very, very concentrated. When we hit 500, we have to do it anyway. We have an injection pump that's there that will handle that we use for the polyphosphate.
Yeah,
So there would be no extra cost in treating. It runs about $9 a gallon. And a gallon will treat almost 1 million.
so what kind of a bulk do they send it out in, and do they bring a
we
barrel for
can
the
get it
30
in
days?
5-gallon buckets, 15-gallon drums, whatever. So a 15-gallon drum would last us moons.
Well, and we want, the 30-day capacity is what Mike wanted, so that we can retest, so I think if you set it up at $9 a gallon, we'll just ask that, and that's the last item on the agenda there to discuss and move forward with, and so. Anything further, Mr. Ferguson?
No.
Okay, so on the Medco diving, of course, we had the one tank that is showing the weeping sign. So that is a maintenance that needs to be taken care of, an emergency on that. I'll just ask for a motion to have them inspect the second tank while they're here.
motion,
Kramer makes it,
Second.
second by
doesn't matter.
Vicky.
Hendrickson. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. The fluoride for a 15-gallon with our applicator will work. I'd like a motion to approve
Motion,
15-gallon approval from Kramer. Second,
Second.
Schumacher. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. We'll leave them 2 items on the agenda, just so we can do a follow-up as we're going through and doing our testing. Item F is still pending, of course. Item E is pending. When we have results or hear back from them, we'll bring the board into more communication on that portion of it. Item 11 is Finance Officer.
Excuse me,
Yes.
Mr. Chairman. Before last, I had a general question. Do our hydrants have built-in backflow preventers?
Pardon me?
Do our hydrants have built-in backflow preventers?
Fire hydrants?
Yeah, or anywhere
No.
in the valve system?
No,
Okay, so when you take from a hydrant,
correct,
you add a backflow preventer,
correct,
and then you hook your hose.
correct.
Okay.
Fire trucks have those built in on those. But any other type of bulk water, has to have it. We've reconstructed, we had one and it wouldn't tabulate high volumes of water. So I built another one, and our town meter that goes on has a check valve in there, so the water can only go one way, plus a high flow meter and that stuff. And it's hooked up now for bulk water users.
Thank you.
Thank you. Before we go to finance officer, I did forget one option. Item C, you had the land application that the girls were gonna look into. Did you ladies get a chance to meet with them?
I think he's talking to you.
Oh, no, we have not. I was looking at you. Yeah.
It would be nice by next meeting if we can maybe have you meet with them and we can have an answer that way on it. That would be appreciated.
And that's Greg?
But,
That's Greg?
and I'm sure he'll involve Stan and Marvin, but Greg is who I would contact and talk to you about it. He was the one that definitely showed the strength of the interest on the deal, so. The South Dakota Rural Water also, as far as the daily readings and the spreadsheet, have them been kept up then, where we're in good shape? Good, so, and I have been appreciative where Mike has been checking them and keeping on top of that so that he also knows, so. You have a question?
No.
Okay,
I have one.
yes, sir.
We've been talking about this and talking about it and talking about it. It's imperative that we get these numbers on these houses.
Okay.
Linda can, when she reads, she probably can make note of those, but there's dozens of them that do not have their numbers visible. I mean, you don't put white numbers on a white house, and silver colored on gray houses. And, you know, the color code is very important. You know, if you've got a red house, you put white letters on it or something like that for the visibility. It makes it very difficult when you have a service call or even the meter readings and that type of stuff, if you can't read the address on the house. It's very important because of emergency vehicles, UPS, deliveries. It happens at least once a week, the UPS guy asks me where this house is. They
Thank
cannot
you.
see the numbers.
Yep.
And if they don't get them done, then we probably can do that for them at a price.
That was one of the items we brought up when we were talking about on the water billing in next cycle, and then also the discussion in a work session that need to be on the other. But as we're going through on your abatement situation, you can write addresses down if you don't see them. We can put a door hanger on them. Let them know if they can't get it done that we can help them for a fee and situate it out from there. Thank you. All right, now we can move to item 11, finance officer.
So the August 2022 bank reconciliation has been accomplished, and in the packet, there's a checkbook balance of $681,730 in the checking book. Don't know if anybody has any questions on anything. There's some outstanding checks in here that have been kind of been dangling there for a long time. Those are going to be taken care of when we move over to G-Works. We'll get those out of there and get them cleaned up.
When are they doing that? I know you struggled with this reconciliation. They're just a nightmare again, but.
Well, I haven't talked to her yet this week, but with Jill being out this week, and then I'm a little concerned because that was one of the things I was going to say. Our audit is also coming up. Our 2021 audit hasn't been accomplished yet. I'm not sure when he's going to do that, but I'm hoping that they don't coincide in the same exact week. But
Did you reach out to him then with an email?
I did not on Friday, and then it's Monday, and I gotta do it tomorrow.
Yeah, I wondered, that was gonna be my other question, was the G-Works and the audit, because we talked about both, that it'd be nice if we could find out when he is, so we don't overlap with
I
the
know.
G-Works, and making sure Gail is here, and then, or Jill is here, so we can go through and get them set up, so that would be appreciated. So yeah, let me know,
Okay,
and we'll keep that in good position on that side of it.
yeah, October's gonna be a busy month, I think, with, between the two, of turning over to a new program and then the audit.
All we've been doing on applications,
You've received 3?
okay? Yep, so we'll wait on them until, like I say, mid-month.
Which is only a week away.
Correct, to start looking at that and see where we're at in that portion of it, so. Further,
We need a motion to increase Vonda's salary from $12 to $13
do I have a
from,
motion
with
on
a
that?
I'll make
retroactive,
Hendrickson
from-
makes it,
Second.
Schumach seconds it,
retroactive from August,
correct.
okay.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carried.
Okay. Midwest Assistance Visit, they're the company that came in and helped us do our GPS. And they're gonna be here on September 20th, and what they are, it's gonna be representatives from all over the country from their association that they want to come and visit Hermosa since we were one of their projects. So we have the 20th of September that we need to discuss an agenda to what to show them, from the towers to the pump house to, they want to do a little bit of economic development, any historical facets of Hermosa you'd like to highlight. They want to meet the mayor and obviously the president of the board and the members. So we need to get an agenda together for them in the next couple days. They asked for it for tomorrow, but if a few of us could meet so that I could get an agenda to get over to them, they want that as soon as possible. They're going to be here probably about 9 o'clock in the morning until about 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And I think we really need to show them some good things because of what they've helped us do in this last couple of years with that GPS.
Yep,
So I
we'll
think
do
we
that.
really need to focus on that agenda.
Yep, and then we'll, like I say, the public works on it, and then we'll go through the rest.
And then the South Dakota Municipal League is coming up, the registration is coming up. So y'all need to let me know who's gonna attend that, if anybody else, so that I can make sure we get you in there for the early bird discount. That's it.
We gotta know why, when on that?
If you can get the early bird, if you register by the 23rd.
That one was where this year?
It's in-
Watertown.
So anybody has interest, we definitely wanna let her know who can make it, who can't make it. It's a good conference. Always a good recommended one, and be awesome for Brett.
When is it? When is it?
Excuse me. Sorry.
September 23rd, I think
Huh,
it was.
it,
October 4th to the 7th.
Registration's by the 23rd on mine.
September 23rd is the registration. But yeah, the 4th through the 7th of October. It's in Watertown. You have a job there then?
You could volunteer for one, you know?
Unfortunately, my anniversary is the 4th of October.
Oh,
It's not unfortunate.
Unfortunately, for this,
I heard that.
for this one, my 14-year anniversary.
So everybody think on it? If anybody can make it to that Watertown one, we need to let Gail know and get our registration done on it.
That's it.
Further, Gail?
No,
We can remove item C. Motion to do so, please.
So moved.
Schumacher makes that motion, second by Thomason. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. So if there's a time frame, you know, Gail's usually slammed pretty hard, but that we can come up and talk about this for Midwest. See what we can put together, some kind of, you know, put some thoughts on an agenda item of what we can lay out for them for during the day to review and see, and what we're wanting to do for the future, and kind of just do a situation from there on that portion of it, so. And then we can ask for comments from it on whatever the board members have on that portion of it then. Okay, thank you, Gail. Item 12 is old business. Item A is that annexation of Gumbo Lily Fairgrounds Place, McDermott Street. As I expressed, then we said the 27th is when we were going to get together for that work session with P&Z to look at the fact finding on taxations to the household, to the mapping, to the review of everything, to put it together for the funding of the WRT booster and so on and so forth, and where we're going to be at and all of that. So keep that in mind for that date. Item B is the town sign, which is pending. We still have never been put on the school agenda for that item. I probably think that it probably won't happen. I think that we will probably be better off just to do a welcome to Hermosa sign and put it out in the DOT that they will allow us to do, and not do anything for a sign wall.
Okay.
You know, until we can get, the DOT, I was so hoping that would relinquish some of that right away after we did the Main Street project and they bought or took more right away. So that's what really hurt us on that project. Otherwise, we would have had perfect location. So can I have a motion at time, or do we want to leave it on there to discuss doing a welcome to Hermosa sign? So we'll leave it on there and we'll discuss it down the road on a work session.
That's what I think, a work session.
Okay? Sounds good. Town office deck staining, any scheduled rules?
Schedule. We've kind of been, can't do it during the heat, can't do it during the rain.
Sounds like
and
this weekend's gonna get where we're gonna start going into the cooler period, thank God.
So what about the 18th, it's a Sunday, you got time?
Okay.
All right, the 18th.
Okay. The library deck staining was what we had talked about. Also, mud jacking, and today I did go through with Greg and we reviewed that whole sheet that I had laid out for the girls to review and that we looked over. The original amount of what we had was $4,050. As we went back through it, a bunch of the areas that I disagreed with or felt that we could do grinding instead of raising. We looked at all of that and we cut the whole project down to $2,300. And it will take care of all the worst areas in that process of raising. Any of them that are gapped, he will caulk also and seal them so that we don't have the moisture get into the middle of all of them. You know, which this will be here for Gail to make copies of, so if anybody wants to come up and review each of the areas and what we've got for a description on here, that will take it. This does not include leveling the library deck. That was something when we looked at it more closely, he felt if we tried to raise that concrete again, that it could possibly raise the other side by the building too, and actually create a bigger problem. So he fully feels that probably jacking that deck up, lowering it down and setting it on shims would be the better way to level that out than it would be to raise it up with the mud jacking. So I'm just kind of going off of it. If he has time, he may tackle it. If he don't, then it'll be our project. If he did, he said he would do it for a very reasonable, if not free. So I just kind of left it in his hands, and if we got time to do it or in amongst the members, then we may look at it from that aspect too and do it from the volunteer side of it. So with that being said, he would not be able to do the work until the 1st of October.
Okay.
So I would need a motion to approve to go through and do them. Kramer makes the motion, second. Thomason, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. I'll leave it on there also so we can go through and do a review on it. The item E, of course, that is part of the fluoride injection.
Okay.
And then when we get to that part of that testing, then we can see what we have in that portion of the testing. With Mike here tomorrow and doing the flow test, that's going to be a great accomplishment on that part of it. And hopefully maybe, I don't know if it'd be good to start out there on Hermosa Hills and that and work your way back would be appreciated. And we'll see what we come out with on that. So we'll have that, and then we'll just follow that step from that portion of it. Anything further from the board? If not, item 13 is new business.
Hey Dan, can I just ask a question on old business?
Yes.
It's all right, but on the 23rd of August, we had the committee meeting, and the recommendation from the committee was not to proceed with the annexation of Fairgrounds Place. Is there any chance you could take action on that tonight and get that off the...
Not till we do the work session. We've already recommended it, that we're going to not include that. And so till we get into where we remap what we're actually going to involve on who we're going to contact to see if they're still interested. We've given you our status. The board has agreed on that status. And until we redevise what they have put together so far, there won't be any other actions until that point.
And when would that be? What
The
day?
27th is when we meet in that work session.
You're gonna have another work session now?
Correct.
And then you're gonna have a recommendation come out of there for the...
Out of the work session as far as when we review.
But no approval of anything until the next board meeting.
Correct. But you'll see what our recommendations are coming out of that session, because P&Z and town board will be at that meeting.
Okay, so then the actual town board meeting, is that...
Be the following Tuesday, whatever that is in October 4th.
Unless we change that because too many people are gonna go to Waters.
If they go there.
That's one side of it.
Yeah,
Then that could be changed.
yep,
There we go.
Okay, thank you.
thank you.
I don't know.
Okay, under new business, we have, item A is the water user rate issues. We have Curry Winds is one of them that was listed on there. She gave you a calculation sheet of what everything is at present day. And so what we're gonna need to do is, a board is review where you're at on this for out-of-town residential, commercial, what the, users' rates are, in-town commercial, in-town residential, what the amounts are for gallons, the per 1,000 gallon ratio, and where we're at. It was made in comments in the board before that with the years past that they should have been raised every year a little bit instead of one substantial raise is what we were doing, so that we were ready for when the well or regionalization, whichever occurs, because there's going to be quite a difference in what that is going to accomplish and put in front of us as a board. So I ask you to review this, come back with your opinions on what you think that it should be made and changed to. I know we talked briefly about different ideas on it as far as where the in-town rates were gonna be at. You know, there was comments of a $5 raise, a $10 raise. There was comments likewise on the commercial. The out-of-town users, you know, there was comments of going up to 85 on that bill. So, you know, that's straight across the board with everybody. I'll come back to you when I get done here with the board, Bill. So, them were only comments that were made. This, of course, will be a board action, board feelings on where that needs to be. I know in our last budget, when we looked at it, what was it, 2 years ago when we first started looking at it, it should have been like a 5%, 10% every year for the last 10 years. And then that would have been small graduations coming up. There are, of course, with loan grants, state standards that you have to be at for that user fee for DA&R purposes. And so we need to qualify on that and for what you would have in portions of it. So that's what this chart is for. This is what discussions will be made. This could be added to the annexation work session if so choose, so P&Z is also involved. That's always usually a good thing. So that way you have all eyes on it.
I'm game for that.
Okay? All right, good. So we thank you for putting that on there too, Gail.
Okay.
Bill, you had a question?
Did I hear you say $85 for minimum?
That's what had been suggested in conversation.
So you're gonna double our rates?
Not me, Bill.
No, the board is gonna double our rates.
We don't know yet.
We don't. This is only conversation. So, like I say, the 27th, when we have the work session, it'll be talked about more. And so that there's definitely a good look at it and a good solution. That gives a person more chance to look at what the financial sides of it's gonna be. So,
Then you'll have annexation within 2 years.
pardon?
Then you'll have annexation within 2 years.
We'd hope that'd be sooner.
Well,
That's why this 27th is gonna be, and this
no, I'm
is,
talking the 24 months for the water and sewer lines and everything and falling in place with your in-town rates.
well, not necessarily. If the annexation were to occur, let's say you had a majority of voluntary annexation out there on Gumbo Lily, once we go through the tax ratios, it could happen within a 3-month period. And then that would then put that structure into place, where then the annexation would take place immediately. Then we'd go through it. So you would have a month on the annexation then for the reviews and the public meetings and what you gotta do for the annexation process. Then you would fall into the in-town rate structure as soon as that happened. So we'd sure like you to solicit that. That would be a good thing. You're a great advocate out there, and I always appreciate it. Very well-renowned
Not to
citizen.
go too much.
Well, you've been very renowned out there, and I appreciate everything you've done for the community, so we always appreciate that, Bill. Okay. So that'll be on that. As far as the water rate increases go, we have item C, the second reading of ordinance 2.075, appropriating funds for the fiscal year 2023. Ms. Boddicker.
Okay, we'll read that in entirety. Town of Hermosa Ordinance 2.075, an ordinance appropriating funds for the fiscal year 2023. Section 1, be it ordained by the Town of Hermosa that the following sums are appropriated to meet the financial needs of the municipality for the fiscal year 2023. For revenue under general government, we're expecting or hoping $281,750. in general fund. A levied property tax is $56,725. Other miscellaneous tax, $200. Licenses, $3,375. Permits, $7,500. State shared is $4,750. County shared is $10,865. Interest miscellaneous donations is $10,520. Rentals is $5,850. That's the city shop. Liquor operating revenue is $30,000. Garbage collection is $55,200. Underwater, the operating revenue for revenues is $140,000. The surcharge revenue is $15,600. Miscellaneous revenue is $4,150. And we put in grant loans for the $500,000 for the WRT system. Under sewer for revenue is the operating agreement. We're budgeting $102,000, and the surcharge revenue is $4,890. And the residual transfer in was $21,330. Under gross receipts for the the bedboard and booze, that's what we call it, the bedboard and booze, is $8,300 and $7,000. And then the FEMA fund is, we just have to put that in there as a wash for $1,500 to balance the budget of the $1,500 that's in the bank for FEMA, for a revenue of $1,281,322. Section 2, the following designates the fund or funds to which the money derived from the following sources is applied. For expenditures for the town board, it's $32,220.38. The election board is $1,215. Planning and zoning is $4,695. Finance office administration is $131,465. The street department is $77,213.62. And the garbage collection is $51,990. Public safety, which is law enforcement, we've budgeted $88,000. Professional fees, attorney we budgeted $25,000. The engineering planning, we budgeted $50,000. Building inspector, $3,000. Government buildings is $1,936. For underwater, for water expenses is $98,263. The capital improvement expenses we're hoping for will be the WRT for $500,000. The transfer out is $33,826. The sewer expenses are $124,002. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I should have. My page extended. Excuse me. So I'm going to go back to water. Our rural development water project for expenses is that's our debt retirement. That's our debt expenses is $16,669. The SRF loan is $5,973. The rural development debt retirement is $2,592, and reserves for issued debt, which is a required reserve, is $2,517. Now bounce back over to sewer expenses as well. We have a debt retirement of $3,835 for the rural development loan, and then the reserves for issued debt is $383. Debt service, that's another loans that we have, is $15,282, and then the reserves for that is $1,528. The gross receipts, we have to balance that budget out, so we expensed out $8,307, and then also $1,500 for the FEMA fund, for a total of $1,281,322 in expenses. Section 3, that there is hereby levied upon all taxable property within the town of Hermosa for the fiscal year 2023 a tax sufficient to raise the following funds: $66,965. And then Section 4, the town finance office is hereby authorized and directed to certify said tax levy to the Custer County Auditor of Custer County, State of South Dakota, to the end that the same may be spread and assessed as provided by law, dated this 6th day of September 2022.
Thank you. Motion to approve. Hendrickson makes the motion, Thomason seconds that motion. Any further discussion? And then we added. There being none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item D will be the bird deaths investigation, and Mr. Waltman has found several around the area that he would like to have looked at and see what is occurring, and he would like permission to send them into the state lab. So
I'll make that motion.
Kramer makes it, Thompson seconds it. Further discussion with the board? Being none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. And we'll just leave it, be able to do our follow-up. The tree trimming on item E was the trimming beside the shop over here on 250 Main. Aim High Tree Service looked at that, figured it'd be $750 to bring that tree down, clean it up, and haul it away. We could leave the firewood on it if that was something that we wanted to do, and he wouldn't haul it away if it takes him less amount of time or less to haul, and he would treat us right on it. So
And you drove by it and decided the whole tree needs to come down?
correct.
Okay.
Yeah, the way it's forked, and by the time we took it,
Yep, I looked at
it's
it, I
just
was
not
just
healthy.
trying to see what,
Chinese elm are the worst, of course, but it's a matter where we would be able to do that and then have that taken care of. So I would need a motion. He'll be probably 3 weeks, he thought, before, end of month, 1st of October, like anybody.
750?
Correct. Motion by Mr. Thomason, do I have a second?
oh, second.
Second by Kramer. And in that motion, do you want him to leave the firewood?
Yes.
Okay, all right, so we will leave the firewood, and that way then find out whether one of the members here could use it, because Schumach uses, you use, so that would be a good thing.
We're users.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Smoke it all at once.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. The next segment of that, as we discussed earlier, was alley trees. The alley, of course, by you is the most extreme.
It is.
There's several of the others up there where hammers live and come down through. There's some work that needs to be done down through there. A little bit by Belts down there too, when you come up and come through and come out by Harris's up there. That needs a little work too. I had him look briefly. He said it's hard on that piecemeal to do things on that. He said, where do you stop? When you get into some of them trees and the extremity of what goes on and how much you limb back to make them safe, you'll take 5 branches and then open it up to where you may have to take another 4 or 5 branches because of deadfall or anything else, is what any of you have been around it are aware of it. So
The one at Mills needs to just come down, that bad one that the law
In the
enforcement
back there.
officer, yeah. That's really bad. It just needs to go away.
So he made comment, if that one were to have to come down, it's gonna be the same similarity as this tree over here because they're about the same size. So you'd have 750 on that. And then he said, as far as coming through the rest of it, he said normally on something like that, he'll go by time. And he'll get a couple hundred an hour by the time he's got his truck, chipper, climbers, because some of this stuff has you can't work off of it. Most of it he thinks he can get with his boom, and reach and do and come down through with. So, but, he said we could get a couple grand wrapped up in coming down through them alleys pretty quickly. And how bad they are. The same way on Second Street over here where the dumpsters are, them couple three that are like holes there on the corner. I've had people comment where it's hard to see around them. They think them trees should go away before they get any larger. There's a light pole there and wire also that concerns that were brought up. That was by another citizen that brought that to my attention too. So it's a matter whether we set a cap on it and tell him, you know, 2,700 to clean the alleys up and chip it and go from there, or get the worst out of the way, the most immediate, so if the emergency vehicle's gotta get through them, they can. With my 1 ton right now, it scratched everything coming down through by Millset. It was that tight. So you get a larger truck than a 1 ton, you're gonna have this. Yep,
So the 2,700 includes the cutting of the 2 trees?
just the one at Mills,
One at Mills, plus the trimming in there,
right.
plus another 750?
Correct. So that's why we gotta determine whether we wanna spend the money to come down just that alley and not address the others. I don't know. If he's down here and doing the work, you know, it saves him mold time, that's the big thing.
Are the ones over by Dorn's house, is that in the right of way?
Yes. And them aren't the crucial.
No.
The alleys are the crucial.
Right. I would be more concerned, yeah.
You said 2,700 for, that's including both trees or
No.
just the one tree?
That's, the 750 is this one
750
tree.
for this one.
It's another 750 if we take the one down
Which
at
is
Mills.
1,500.
And then $2,000 to come up the rest of the alleys and trim all the branches and
Okay.
chip it and clean it. You know, and that's hard, like I say, for an hourly for him to put on there. Because maybe he's done in half the time. Well, then he would charge us $1,000, you know, and go through it from there. But you can't count on that, and he's one of them contractors that likes to bid the most and give you the top price instead of coming back, well, you know, it's gonna be another 500.
Oh.
That's just not the way Rodney works.
What'd you do? Oops, sorry.
Yes, ma'am,
So it would be a cap of $3,500?
correct.
Well,
Or if you don't think it should be that severe. The last time we did it, I took my crew and volunteered and I came through it. And it took me 2 days
Yeah.
to go through it and chip it and cut it and do it, you know, so.
A lot of work.
It is a lot of work. Let the guy do it. Aim high.
I have not, I honestly did not pay enough attention to all the rest of the areas. Other than, I did look at this tree and I did look at behind my alley because I dragged it. But I did not pay attention to the other alleys, so I don't know what it needs.
There's some low
personally.
hanging and some bad ones.
Well, you never know what winter's gonna be bringing over either.
Yeah, exactly.
So you might as well clean it up now instead of having to mess with it come spring or a snowstorm and they can't get through the alley to take care of somebody. Just do it now. Get it done.
You making the motion?
Yes, I just did.
I second.
So this is the second part of that. The first one was for the 750 for the one by 250 Main. The second one will be 2750 max to clean up the alleys.
Leave the
and
wood.
remove the one tree in Mills's alley, and any wood will be left.
Yeah, for the user.
That can be left for firewood. Sound good?
Guess whoever gets it
Sounds
first,
good.
you know?
Yeah, you probably will.
You got the motion and second, okay? Gail?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. We'll leave them on, once again, an update. Item C can be removed. Motion to do that, please.
So moved.
Motion by
Second.
Schumach, second by Thompson. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. He just was closer than I heard him before I heard you, so.
It's okay.
I appreciate that. Item 14 is items from the citizens. Of course, no action will be taken, it's a 3-minute time limit. Anyone wishing to address the board during this time shall be asked to identify themselves. The number of presentation and time allotted to individuals may be limited by the board president, and individuals shall refrain from discussing personalities. The president at this time, under his discretion, may recognize patrons at the other times during the board meeting also. No action will be taken by the board on any issue related with being first placed on future agenda by the board to allow for proper notice. Anybody with items for citizens? Yes, sir, Mr. Preston.
Two quick ones. Now that I can start out there with the approved preliminary plat, he has asked me about water for compaction. I would suggest he just calls Chuck.
Call the town office, and they have an application that you fill out for bulk water up here.
Okay, it didn't seem to be very much, but.
Yep, they'll come through the office, fill out the application, then they'll alert Mr. Ferguson, and Mr. Ferguson will alert them where they can get water.
Secondly, and they're gonna start out there soon. I'm hoping very soon. Secondly, Hermosa Hills, I'm wondering if we can move that dirt. No roads would be built, just get it ready and respectable for potential buyers before we build the road and plat it and so forth.
So the extension of Walter then is what you're referencing, and
Extension of Marie.
but the lot is parallel, the dirt pile to that, or?
No, west, going west at the end of Marie,
Okay.
in the county, not in the city.
Right? And your question once again?
If we could move dirt to make it look nicer before the street, sewer and water are in, so we can show it to potential buyers.
And what he's referencing, it was brought to our attention that they want to move the dirt on the next 17 lots, not annexing into the town, using Custer County's authority, which they wouldn't need a permit to level that dirt. It's in a circumstance on that we did call and talk to them briefly today. Gail was told that yes, they could go ahead, but they did not bring up the extraterritorial agreement that we have with Custer County. And in that agreement, in the first 2 paragraphs, it states that they will work with the community and anything that is connected to the town, which this is directly connected to Hermosa Hills. So that's where the question was brought. We didn't get a chance to call her back and talk to her. We will in the morning to make sure that clarification works good and that that agreement won't be a situation involved that it will be discretionary between the 2 entities. That's my biggest worry. We drew that up for that purpose because we've had other issues with septic tanks, with other issues and other development circumstances that were within state law and weren't followed because Custer County didn't know. So this was developed for them purposes in 2021 in that agreement as we look back on it. So I won't have a clear answer until in the morning when we can talk about that.
Okay.
I appreciate the patience, I really do.
Okay.
Any questions on the board on that? Okay, anybody else further on? Yes, ma'am. Please announce yourself.
My name is Shani Slocum. I am handing in a letter to you guys. I would love to be on your guys' planning and zoning. Who do I give it to?
Awesome. Please
Joan
turn it
Harris.
into the
Joan, I'm here.
town office.
Just give it to Gail, please.
It'll be put on the next agenda and for planning. Whoop, watch behind you.
So that way, yeah, I'll be here and I'll be coming in.
We thank you
Thank
for
you
your
for
input.
volunteering.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Further? Yes, sir, Mr. Stiles.
Derek Stiles. I'd just like to thank you, Dan, for repairing putting the asphalt millings down there at the end of the concrete by the Dollar General. That really took the bump out of it. The Wilds are both saying thank you also. And the people coming to my park, in and out of my park, it's a lot smoother for them there. So I just want to say thank you, Dan, for doing that.
Thank you. Anything further for trustee input? Thank you all for being here. We will save our trustee input until we come back from executive session. And you are welcome to wait if you choose to till after our executive session to come back in, as always. We appreciate that. But at this time, at what time do you have?
7:45.
7:45, I'd like a motion to go into executive session. Schumacher makes it, Thomason seconds it. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Hallsworth, we'll be waiting to get it when it's done.
When you're ready on the
Recording's
recorders.
I'm the wrong person to ask for that, because I would say 2113, and y'all would look at me like that's, I mean, literally, it was.
Whiskey Tango Foxtrot.
My phone has military time, I don't do civilian time.
I need a motion to come out of executive session at 9:13.
Okay.
Kramer makes it, Schumacher seconds it. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. As a result of executive session, no actions are needed or taken. So motion to, trustee input. I'll start with Hendrickson.
None.
Thomason.
None.
Schumacher.
I think we need to go through some of the ordinances pertaining to the complaint issues and how they're wrote up, and the vehicles in people's yards, the commercial and so forth, they all need to be revamped and gone through. That's it.
Thank you. Kramer.
I would ditto what Terry said, and I'd like to say again that the town is looking nice. I thank people for taking care of their abatement issues. I know that getting those letters is a annoying shock to people, and I've had them myself, so I know this as a fact. But the town looks good, much better than it did before, and I think that will prevent should be less weeds growing next year with having the issues taken care of this year, whereas it wasn't done last year, and so I think it's, trying to prevent that. Anyway, that's all.
Thank you. I appreciate everybody tonight. I hope we can go forward in a positive way. We've got a lot of work to do, a lot of things to come over the top of. We have a lot of issues to correct on infrastructure situations for our next coming projects and annexation and a number of important work sessions. So I look forward to all of us and all of your input on putting that forth in the right way. So thank you for all your hard work. Motion at 9:16 to adjourn.
Make that.
Hendrickson makes the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Thomason. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign.
I want to stay longer.
Motion carried. Thank you for sticking around.